In this first part of the two-part grammar series for this module, we're going to take a look at a pretty easy grammar point, which is tener expressions, which we can use to talk about your health. We know the verb tener means to have, and all of these expressions on the Spanish side use this verb tener, but notice that in English they use the verb to be. So in English we say to be hot, to be cold, to be hungry, to be thirsty, to be in pain, to be sleepy, or to be some number of years old. All these verbs in Spanish instead use some form of the verb to have with the noun form of the thing that you have. So in English we have to be hot. In Spanish we say to have heat. And this is a really important one because to have heat means that your body is hot. If you confuse this and say something like yo soy caliente, which is what we know so far in this class, what you're actually saying is I'm hot as in I'm sexy. So you have to go with yo tengo calor, as in my body literally has too much heat in it. I'm feeling hot. To be cold is tener frío, to have coldness. Frío, you already know that word. To be hungry is to have hunger. We already talked about this word hambre. Looks kind of like the word hombre, which means man. And we can remember it because men are always hungry. Hambre, to have hunger. To be thirsty is to have thirst. Yo tengo sed. I'm thirsty. I have thirst. To be in pain is to have pain. To be sleepy is to have sleepiness. Remember that tilde over the end is sleeping on the letter N. And to be years old, we've previewed this one before, is to have blank years in Spanish. So if you want to say I am 15, you really want to say I have 15 years. Yo tengo 15 años. Let's review this verb really quick. The verb tener, to have. This is one of the verbs that's been on our wall all year for Spanish 1. Take a second to remind yourself how it's conjugated. This is the conjugation chart for it. It's probably worth putting in your notebook one more time because we're going to use it throughout the Canvas check-ins for the rest of this week. Tengo, tienes, tiene, tenemos, tenéis, tienen. And of course, we're going to keep going back to this. Tengo, I have pain, I have sleepiness, I have heat, I have hunger. Tengo. Go ahead and pause the video right here and see if you can fill in the blanks on this activity. First one, I want to say I am sleepy in history class. What we want to say is I have sleepiness. Yo tengo sueño. Number 2, we are hungry in period 4, in fourth period. Nosotros tenemos hambre. We have hunger. Tenemos hambre. For profe is 27 years old. I want profe has 27 years. Profe tiene 27 años. For do you have a stomachache or are you in pain of the stomach? I want to ask, ¿tú tienes dolor del estómago? ¿Tienes? And for the plants are thirsty, they need water. I want the plants have thirst. Las plantas tienen sed. Tienen sed. Necesitan agua. And for this one, try translating to English. Take those 7 sentences and figure out what they mean. Pause the video right here, and then I'll give you some answers. Here are your answers. Yo tengo 16 años. I have 16 years. Yo tengo calor. I have heat. Yo tengo mucho dolor de la cabeza. I have much pain of the head, or I have a bad headache. ¿Tú tienes frío? You have cold? Are you cold? Yo tengo mucha hambre. I have much hunger, a lot of hunger. Nosotros tenemos sed. We have thirst. And los estudiantes tienen sueño. The students have sleepiness. Notice again, all of these use that verb tener, to have, and when we put them in English, we translate usually to be, and occasionally, sometimes, it can appear as to have. So your biggest thing about this week is it is not a direct translation. You got to keep in mind these 7 phrases use a different verb, tener, in Spanish.